Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 43.
43,
of
can't
Mousesteps
believe it.
Weekly.
Sponsored by Theme Park Connection in Winter Garden, Florida.
Great place for all your collectible needs.
And a short distance from the parks.
And Maple Leaf Tickets, our official ticket agency.
And they have all kinds of tickets for Orlando attractions and theme parks.
That's right. And this week we're going to talk about the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival.
And it's the 20th year.
20th year. Look at how beautiful.
And this is the 6th year that I have covered and that you have covered it, but we've been going for a lot longer.
And while you watch this segment, you'll notice the evolving of the festival. This is a beautiful shot that you took, and Denise did some of the video this week.
I waited forever for that monorail.
I was off gallivanting in Daytona last Thursday when you got these shots here.
And well, I really had a great time last Thursday, and then we went back. Actually, went back
last two days
this week.
So this is a compilation of 3 different visits. This was from 2 days ago, and it is Norway, the Norwegian troll,
who was not there last year. Usually, he's over by the stroller area.
He took a year off to grow in.
And I saw somebody called him a chia pet.
I heard somebody call him Stitch.
Nobody knows who he is.
I think it's fun to just sit around and listen to people say, "Who's that? What is that?"
I was so happy to see him. And I never know how to call him the bromeliad. But he's actually one of my favorites of the festival. And
we were so excited to see the bromeliad.
I know, because he wasn't there last Thursday.
Yeah.
I was like, I hope he comes back.
And he breathes the smoke, the mist there. So very cool. I love the dragon and the bears, the panda bears.
There's a lot of the topiaries which are back in the same exact spot, and I was so disappointed that some of them were. I thought a little too many, but now we're seeing quite a bit more changing, which I'm very happy about.
But you're right. I think the majority are in the same spot as they had been in the last few years.
And there's
a couple very cool exceptions.
There are.
Now this Snow White was actually on the other side of that fence, closer to the water.
But similar, I thought it was the same spot.
Similar placement. There were white flowers were here last year.
And the dwarves were behind her in the exact same way.
And I remember last year the dwarves did not have the lanterns right away.
Not at first,
they did eventually showed up. So this time they're on the ball.
We remember too much about where all the characters are.
Huge fans of the festival.
I actually am. If I could, I would be there every day walking around because it's such a gorgeous time of year.
Yeah, it's Christmas for us. Springtime Christmas.
I actually like it better than Christmas in the parks now.
It's just so peaceful. Our only hope is because they're bringing in the food and the wine and the beer and all this other stuff, that it doesn't turn into a food and wine festival and get so crowded you can't enjoy the serenity.
I was going to say I thought Dopey looked a little different.
Dopey did.
And here is Lady and the Tramp, and they were now surrounded by flower pots, which they've never been before.
This way people can't go and touch and wreck them. You have to think of the people.
And they're in the same place. But Lotso is not in the same place. He is now in America.
Right. Well, Lotso has always been in America. He used to be in a alphabet garden in the back.
I meant last Thursday he wasn't there.
Correct. He appeared suddenly within the last
few
days.
All the Pixar characters
but he's
are popping up now.
He's fully grown in, and I can see they're going to put the little box where they put the essence of strawberries. So that'll be nice. And there is Woody.
And you thought that Buzz would be above Woody, but we found Buzz Lightyear in a totally different area of the park yesterday.
But also in this area, it is a smokehouse where there'll be barbecue and brews, pulled pork, smoked brisket, and ice-cold beers. I'm reading that, of course. It sounds very good to me.
It sounds pretty good. And in France, last week they didn't have the Beauty and the Beast topiaries, but now they do.
Now they do. As of yesterday, they do. And there is the Beast, and there is Belle and the Beast. And this is the exact same place they've been the last 3 or 4 years, I think.
Yeah, they're pretty much. They used to have the perfume bottles and the. What did they call the fragrance garden?
That's when it was
used to be.
Right, a fragrance garden. But as of last year, it wasn't. Originally, they put these guys off by the water in front of France, but it was a bottleneck. You could never see them. You could certainly never get a picture. So it is a perfect place for them. I'm not complaining that they put them back here. And another mainstay are the Prince and Princesses.
And I think
Topiary.
This is the 3rd year that they have been in this particular location.
It's a great location for them, and they're very detailed.
And because of our warm winter, the flowers, the trees, we have these beautiful trees that unfortunately...
The pink thing? What are those? We don't know.
I don't know if they're like trumpet trees or something, but anyway, unfortunately, those usually make it look even better over there.
It's been a very warm winter.
Very
Not
warm.
That we're complaining.
No, this week is going to be a little cooler.
Yes, and cooler as in 60.
Cinderella and her prince.
This is one of the hardest shots to get because of the way the sun is.
I think so, too.
So we haven't quite figured out what the optimal time is for a good video, but for now we have a photo we took and lightened it up a little bit.
And a piglet with Eeyore, Rabbit, and Tigger.
This is a change that I think is very cool.
I love this location for him.
Peter Pan way up on the top of the UK Pavilion building.
When they put Captain Hook and TikTok Croc next to the bathrooms, I still am not sure about that because, you know, those bathrooms get so crazy already. And so it's...
What is your concern?
Just too many people and I can't get to the bathroom.
It's a selfish concern I see. I don't think it'll be a problem. I think people will find the bathroom and will not be stopped by looking at these.
I don't agree. I think it's going to block the bathroom.
But you see, now if you put that, we've seen an advertisement, there is a human Captain Hook that scares people, like a candid camera. If you put him by the bathroom, that's entertainment at its finest.
But Peter Pan was very cool up there.
Yes, and there's a quick shot of the Canada...
The Victoria Gardens.
Victoria Gardens. This is another new addition.
This is a photo op area over at the Land of Oz.
Yeah, that was new. That was not there when we saw the Oz Playground initially about a week and a half ago.
It was put in last week.
And this is a great shot you took last week of the floating flower pots.
I always enjoy these. I think they make the water look beautiful. They're also now over near the Imagination area, which they hadn't been last week.
Right, and there's more flowers on them. They're more grown in since you took this when we were there yesterday.
And this is the Radiator Springs area. This is where the Pixie Hollow, you know, all the Tinkerbell and everything used to be.
Right, the fairies.
The fairies,
the fairy garden.
I always call them pixies, but
right.
fairies.
Well, they are pixies. But this is going to be where Mater and Lightning McQueen are, which we will now see. There he is. There is
he's
Mater.
All set.
But he still is not quite set. He has plastic bags, see, on his tires. They have not removed.
My eyes are too old.
Yeah, I mean, they're still in the process of getting them in their final resting place, so to speak. But I think this Cars playground area or Radiator Springs will be very, very popular and very cool.
Well, it is a playground area and it's a walkway. I don't know exactly what all it will entail yet, but we will see.
And another change is Buzz Lightyear.
And we were expecting Stitch to be here because he's been here like the last 3 years. So you kind of like, okay, well, let's go see Stitch now.
Right. We said that I'll meet you at Stitch, and then I meet you there, and there's no
and
Stitch.
And there's Buzz Lightyear. It's Buzz. I think this is a great location for him.
Great location for him. And I don't know what has become of Stitch. Maybe he'll pop up somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Stitch somewhere.
And there's some work going on. We've been asked about it. I have no idea.
It's just construction. I looked into it. They're just doing a refurb of the exterior. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. So another big thing, Phineas and Ferb.
And Phineas and Ferb arrived in Topiary form first last year on around July 4th.
It was actually the 4th of July was the first day we happened to be in the park. We were very excited to see them.
And then they were at Downtown Disney, and now they're here.
But I don't think many people notice them. They're off in a corner at Downtown Disney. I think this is in a prime location, and I think it'll be very popular.
And I'm actually going to be doing a contest on Mousesteps this weekend. So if you go to Mousesteps, we were given 3 copies of the new Phineas and Ferb Animal Agents DVD. So definitely stop by Sunday.
Agent P. Perry the Platypus.
The Perry Files. And there he is.
We are such fans. On the way to Daytona, our good friend drove us with this nice van that had TVs and headsets, and we watched the Phineas and Ferb DVD the whole way to the race.
And now we'll have 3 to give away. So just look at Mousesteps this coming weekend. If you're watching this, in 2 weeks, it will be over. But, but anyway, you have the little Perry the Platypus back there. But everybody's wanting to know, where's the Perry the Platypus topiary? But there isn't one.
Well, hopefully next year there'll be a real topiary of Perry because people love Perry.
No idea.
Agent P is highly popular.
It took a long time for Phineas and Ferb just to get into the parks. Now they're everywhere. So we'll see how it goes.
Yes, we'll see how it goes. Now, coming up is another returning topiary that was not there last year. It's the Lion King topiary.
And this has moved around probably more than almost any other topiary display that I've seen.
Yes, this was actually where Phineas and Ferb just were about 2 years ago.
And they've been back in the Africa area. I mean,
they've been all over the place.
Right. They never stay in one place that I can remember.
They've actually been where the Monsters Inc. topiary is at the end of this this street here, right in front of World Showcase.
That was like 4 years ago, maybe, and they had giraffes, and that was actually a great.
But they look better than ever. They look good. I think the year off helped them out. They have
new
life. New life.
They've been hibernating.
That's right. A year off does good for them. But here is the big new thing for the year. It is Monsters University.
And Sully is supposed to arrive. I don't know when Sully will arrive, but Mike Wazowski looks great.
That's a young lad version.
Retainer.
He has his
retainer. They're
not
braces. On. Everybody called them braces.
That is a retainer,
yes.
A retainer. So you have the correct nomenclature, don't you? But, yep, there he is, and he has his Monsters University hat. The characters are going to college in the new movie.
Yesterday was sort of all about Pixar for us. I mean, we found Buzz Lightyear, Lightning McQueen, Mater, and Mike Wazowski.
I think this is really, really cool. So detailed. So I can't wait until our friend Sully arrives.
And I can't imagine how big he's going to be, because obviously he's a lot bigger than Mike Wazowski.
He's got to be pretty big. Look at these books on how to scare.
And all of these, we have the videos up so you can see more detail
in the
videos.
Of course. Check out the show notes to see longer versions, more detailed versions of all these clips.
This was much more substantial of a topiary display than I expected.
Yes, very detailed, like we said before. And there are other monsters coming up that we've never seen before, and I don't even know if they have names from the movie.
Well, they're sort of like trees with
he reminds me of a Muppet from Sesame Street somehow. I don't know why, but they're very cool.
And we were talking beforehand. I don't know if these are considered topiaries because they're really the trees, but then they
they're
put
really
the faces
trees with
on
eyes on them. I don't know if they technically. I think these are not topiary.
I would say probably
they are
not.
trees, but trees with character.
And I first noticed this when we were over in the Land of Oz. What was it? A couple days ago.
Oh, you were so excited! You saw it, and you're like, "Look, monster!" Oh,
no, I didn't say that. I didn't know. I'm like, that tree has a face.
Yeah. We went running over there.
We did, fun. And I thought, well, maybe that's part of the Munsters, and it was.
Those trees do have faces.
They do have. They all have faces.
And there he goes. There's Mike Wazowski waving to the.
Everybody.
Spaceship Earth. Well, yes. Spaceship Earth. He might think it's a relative because he looks very similar to.
Maybe they can turn Spaceship Earth into Mike Wazowski.
That's right.
With a big eyeball.
That's right.
They already call it the big. Where's the ball?
And he's looking at that. And there's another relative in the background. See from Illuminations. Oh. I know, we're really stretching. This is a long segment.
It is
I apologize.
Segment. But I actually love the Flower Garden Festival. It starts on March 6th.
March 6th.
March 6th.
This
officially.
Wednesday. You must go. Oh, and what a great time. We found Rapunzel.
And they have surprise meet and greets, sometimes at the International Gateway, sometimes over by America. I mean, you never know when it's going to happen.
The thing is, they are always, at least in my experience, they're always very good. Like, she was a spectacular Rapunzel.
There's only one Rapunzel.
Oh, that's true.
There's only one Rapunzel. She was just having a very good day.
She had a very good day. And it was great because she brought up Pascal, and we asked where Flynn was, and I said, maybe you have a frying pan. You have to check this out on the show notes and hear the interaction. It was really fun.
And maybe she's over here because the bathrooms aren't open yet.
I think it's true. I think because the Rapunzel bathrooms have not opened, it's more comfortable for her to be hanging around here at Epcot. And that's why Flynn isn't around, too. So when her bathroom opens, she'll be back.
Those bathrooms are taking a long time. I think Transformers over at Universal will be open first.
Well, we'll see about that. My advice, go to the festival.
We both love it, and it will run through May 19th. It begins on March 6th.
We'll see you there. So after our great Epcot day, we took a boat over to the Magic Kingdom to check out the limited time magic offerings, the Dapper Dans sing boy bands.
And we don't know much about boy bands, but we do know quite a bit about Disney's Grand Floridian Resort.
Yes. Well, this is the new DVC Villas. that's coming up.
They are supposed to be opening later this year, late 2013.
147 villas they will be.
And it's actually a lot bigger building than I anticipated
Well,
originally.
in this shot that I'm going to do, I'm trying to show how big it is compared to the actual Grand Floridian. So let's see. So there's the new villas. And there is the Grand. You could see it's actually huge.
It looks very big, but once it's done, it'll be interesting to see how it kind of fits into the line, the shoreline.
And I know the beach is being redone. The beach is going further out. They're going to have new sand. They already have a new playground for the kids. So
that's kind of for both the villas and the Grand Floridian.
Correct. So. We'll see. I don't think there's any restaurants or anything like that. I think it'll be sort of like the Bay Lake Tower.
Or the Wilderness Lodge villas.
Right, just the villas pretty much. So it's a beautiful ride. We love taking the boat, by the way. We always choose the boat over the monorail. It's very relaxing.
It is, and it's just unless it's raining or something, then it's not so much fun.
Yes, they don't have enclosed.
And it's moving along pretty quickly, so just many months away still.
But we got to the Magic Kingdom, and here are the Dapper Dans. They're setting up their boy band tribute. They seem to do the same thing every time. It's a medley of let's see. We have this written down because we don't
know that much about
boy
bands.
Don't know much about them. Backstreet Boys.
I think Backstreet Boys.
It's more from our time. But
I don't know what one of the songs was.
I was always a rock fan, not a boy band.
Right, you
fan.
Listen to Kiss, not. But Backstreet Boys was sort of like in my 20s, and so I didn't really listen to them.
We are elder statesmen of all of this.
But I know who One Direction is a little bit.
And there was some other band, too.
I don't know.
I would suggest watch a video. They will say what it all is.
They actually do their normal set until a certain point, and then a few minutes of the boy bands.
Right, it's at the very end. It's always the very end. It's about 3 minutes of boy bandness.
The original boy band, they call themselves.
They are the original boy band. That's true, because they've been around since the turn of the century, they say.
And it was fun, and I liked that, again, that it was their normal set, and then they added on the boy band part.
Right, it was actually better than I thought it would be.
I agree. I didn't really need to go because I didn't know music
think about it it forced me to relax and watch the Dapper Dans, and it made me remember how much I really like the Dapper Dans.
And I agree with that too. It was a great show.
So after that, we went to Chocolate Kingdom.
This is a new factory adventure tour in Kissimmee. It opened last month.
Yeah, it's right by Fun Spot by Old Town. That's right, Old Town.
It was a little tricky to find, but it took
it's
a couple
worth
extra
it. Well,
minutes.
Look at this. Too bad we don't have smell-o-vision on this video.
As soon as you walk into Chocolate Kingdom, chocolate. You smell chocolate.
It smells so good.
So if you loved the smell of chocolate, you will love Chocolate Kingdom.
And they did a great job. And I have to say, the prices on this chocolate, very reasonable.
Right. I mean, the truffles are like $1, and they're handmade, they're made there.
And so anyway, we took the tour. This is a video that they commissioned, and it tells the story of these two characters here.
And the prince and Michu, I believe, is the dragon's
correct.
name. I thought the Prince and the Dragon really made it a lot more fun for kids.
Yeah, it's fun for kids and adults, and that's what they're doing right. And you get chocolate samples.
Yes, there were like four different
types.
Samples.
You had raw chocolate, you had a chocolate drink with some spice, chocolate bits, and 3 freshly made chocolate boots.
Slippers.
Well, whatever.
You like to call them boots.
White chocolate, dark chocolate, and milk chocolate.
Slippers, like
yummy
princess
goodness.
Slippers. And this is really like going to be their Chocolate Kingdom.
A work in progress. You'll be seeing little chocolate houses and people and all sorts of stuff. It'll be fantastic.
And they have a river of chocolate.
Just like Willy Wonka. There it is, a river of chocolate. River runs through it.
And here, what am I doing here? Catapulting
shooting the marshmallows into the dragon's mouth. Dragons love marshmallows, by the way.
And this is actually the factory.
And there are those little boots. They're much bigger slippers that we will be getting.
And what everybody is so excited about is that for $5 you can customize your own chocolate bar.
And I think we chose bacon. We chose
cashews.
And pretzels.
Pretzels,
but
right.
There's a whole select. I mean,
There's 15 different items that you can choose.
Yeah, and oh boy, look at that.
And
it's
they're huge.
Look at how big. It took us 3 days, 3 settings to eat that bar together.
And I like how they come through. It's like a conveyor belt system.
Yes, there it is. There's our chocolate right there.
It sort of reminds me of the Main Street Bakery at Disney, except this one works.
Yes. Yeah. But here it
and
comes.
It's so much fun to watch your chocolate bar come in, and
it is truly a confectionery of working goodness.
So it's really fun because you can do the tour, $15 for adults, $12 for kids. Either way, you can buy chocolate. If you don't have time, you're heading out of town and you just want to stop in for some chocolate gifts.
Yeah, we will go back. We will actually go back. I mean, it's a great place just to get some good bargains on chocolate. I'll do that $5 chocolate bar anytime you want.
We had a lot of fun there.
Yeah, we'll be back.
And that's another show. Thanks to Theme Park Connection in Winter Garden, Florida. We have to head over there soon.
Yeah, we hear they have some new additions from California this week.
And also Maple Leaf Tickets.
Our official ticket agency. Great deals on all things tickets.
And the phone number is right there.
So we'll see you next week.
Have a great week.